You're watching WALA Fox 10, bringing you more news more often. Now, from the #1 news station on the Gulf Coast, this is Fox 10 Action News, live at 6 p.m.
The City Council wants to make a deal before naming Mobile's new chief of police.
But first, a vacant lot in Mobile County is the scene of a horrible discovery. Hi, everyone, I'm Bob Grip.
And I'm Vanessa Centers. Thanks for joining us. As we first told you at 5 p.m., sheriff's investigators found a body in a vacant lot off Range Line Road. Fox 10's Krista Marino joins us now live from the scene. Krista, how did the deputies find the body?
Well, actually, Anissa, police say someone was walking through this empty field here on Hurricane Bay Drive when they came across a body right behind these logs, as you can see behind me. Now, as soon as they made the call, swarms of deputies arrived. Let's show you what it looked like out here. The police came out, about a dozen deputies. We had them searching the area for evidence, looking through the field, trying to find anything that might help them identify this person that was found behind these logs here. Now, we do not have an identification of the person, nor do we know if it is a male or female. Police are keeping a tight lip as far as releasing information until they can, take it to the forensic lab and identify it. But again, the Pritchard Police Department was out here. Here's what they had to say.
Information until after the autopsy has been performed by forensic. At this time, until the reports are received from forensic, we cannot release any additional information about the body, the condition, or any other information until we receive this report.
Can you tell us what kind? Now, the Pritchard Police Department, and that was Captain Baldwin, also told us that they're investigating a missing persons report. They're not confirming this or denying this, but again, they say that the missing person report in Pritchard, they have a long list, but they're working on this tonight. Again, the body is being sent to the forensic lab as we speak. They said in a couple hours they may be able to tell us more on this gruesome discovery here on Hurricane Bay Drive, right off of Range Line Road in Theodore. Anissa?
Thank you, Krista. Bob?
A Gulf Coast man accused of second-degree arson is still behind bars tonight. Judge Mike McMakin refused to set bond for 23-year-old Daryl Morris today. McMakin says he may set bond after a preliminary hearing next month. Morris is accused of torching a minister's home on Chingderry Loop Road last week. Investigators believe the fire was an act of revenge. Police say Morris had a relationship with the minister's teenage daughter that apparently went sour. Morris's hearing is set for November 18th. One Gulf Coast jury is out deliberating the fate of a 14-year-old accused of murder. The prosecution in Bay Minette contends Robert Bowie is responsible for the 1995 death of 15-year-old Tarvis Reed. Reed was killed in Daphne. We'll let you know when the jury reaches a verdict.
It didn't take long for two juries to convict two local women of murder. 33-year-old Virginia Hayes was found guilty of murdering her husband, Walter Hayes. Walter Hayes was killed in 1994. He had been stabbed in the chest. Virginia Hayes will be sentenced November 8th. And 20-year-old Irene Elizabeth Ferreira was found guilty of a 1995 stabbing that led to the death of Kenneth Lee Kindred. Ferreira's husband, who has already been convicted of the murder, testified against her today. James Ray Bailey says he and his wife were at Kindred's house to rob him. Sentencing has been set for that case for November 21st.
Mobile will be without a permanent chief of police for one more day. The city council was expected to approve Sam Cochran as the Port City's top cop, but held up the vote to give members time to review his contract. The council by law approves the appointment, but not the contract, and members were unwilling to confirm Cochran without first seeing his salary and residency requirements. Council President Clinton Johnson says a draft of Cochran's contract addresses both concerns and provides for the chief to start out at $85,000 for his first probationary year, then go to $91,000 a year, the salary of former Chief Harold Johnson. He also tells us the contract will require Cochran to move to Mobile at the end of his probation.
The chief has agreed to do the move, but to reflect that 180 days following confirmation of permanent status that he would be expected to move within that period of time.
Cochran says he's not worried about the one-day delay in his appointment, and he's optimistic all the details will be worked out. The council will vote on his confirmation tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. New schools and new families are in the future for Detente Square, one of the Port City's historic neighborhoods. As we first told you last week, the city of Mobile will offer 25 residential lots for sale in the area just north of the business district. Today, the city council approved the marketing of those lots. Prices will range from about $4,000 to $15,000 and will be sold on a first-come, first-served basis. Look for those lots to be advertised in just a couple of weeks. But the council held up action on another section of Detente Square, the 19 acres set aside for a new middle school. The council would like to set some guidelines to make sure the school maintains the historic nature of the neighborhood before transferring the land to the school board. It's one of the hottest political races Alabama's seen in a while. The campaign to replace longtime Senator Howell Heflin has the candidates trading attacks about ethics and warnings about the future of Medicare, crime, and taxes.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions and State Senator Roger Bedford face off at the ballot box November 5th. Tonight, Fox 10's Amy Greer begins part 1 of a special report on the race for the Senate.
It's 7:30 Friday morning. The Jeff Sessions campaign bus, Asphalt 1, is hitting Dothan, part of a swing through Alabama's Wiregrass region. First stop, Ray's Cafe, where the early bird crowd has been waiting since 6 to see the Attorney General who wants to go to Washington.
James Parker. Yeah, Parker, good to meet you.
Sessions gets an introduction to the home folks from Congressman Terry Everett. The stump speech, one we hear throughout the day, is pure small-town Alabama values.
I share the heritage of this area of the state. My daddy had a country store on Hibbert, Alabama.
Jeff relates to these people because he is one of these people.
This is an important race. My opponent says he's a conservative Alabama Democrat, but we know he ran for delegate to the Democratic Convention, pledged to Teddy Kennedy against our...
In 30 minutes, the bus is back on the road. Staffers check schedules, returning calls to media all over the state.
Okay, let me hang up and call you on another line, okay?
From Dothan on west through cotton fields, Alabama's agricultural heartland. The candidates will spend plenty of time on the road in the state's major cities, but the real heart of the race may lie in Alabama's small towns, like Enterprise here, where a statue of the boll weevil still marks the downtown, where folks are still concerned with the same things their great-grandparents worried about 100 years ago, mostly making a living off the land. Cotton and peanuts are king here, and the people want someone in Washington to defend their livelihoods.
Alabama's life, and it's great to see that industry come back and see cotton come back.
Sessions supports farm subsidies. He makes his point at a cotton gin in Hartford and a peanut plant in Enterprise. On other issues, Sessions opposes abortion rights. He favors tort reform, a $500 per child tax credit, a cut in the capital gains tax, tougher right-to-work laws, and tougher criminal sentences, especially for juvenile offenders. Sessions talks a lot about fighting crime. The longtime U.S. Attorney for Mobile believes his background in the courtroom is one of his biggest advantages in handling what he believes is Congress's biggest obligation to the people, keeping the streets safe. That means making the drug war a renewed priority.
Ultimately, it takes a message of intolerance, the kind of message Bill Bennett, when he was drug czar, sent, that drug use is wrong.
So has he ever experimented?
I have not, and I think most people have not, at least most people in Alabama.
Sessions also wants to work on relieving overcrowded juvenile lockups like Strickland. His prescription, something most states don't allow now, let kids spend time in county jails.
My bill in the legislature called for the local jails to be able to keep them separate from adults for up to 15 days. The legislature reduced that to 7, but even 7 would be so much better than what we've got today.
In Headland, a homecoming of sorts, Sessions' wife Mary joins the campaign caravan after a night with her mother. A worn yard sign gets a replacement, and the Attorney General is back on the bus. Downtown, a rally. The faithful gather for a man they consider one of their own.
And I'm here because his mother-in-law is my dear friend.
She carries a pretty big stick around here?
Yes, she does.
What really matters to you the most about this campaign?
I don't know, just see an honest man in there doing what he'll say he'd do.
The people, they're so good, you know, and they come up and they say, we're thinking about you, we're praying for you. They have a lot of concerns and they want Jeff to talk to them, and we shake a lot of hands and talk one-on-one.
The campaign trail is often as much style as substance, letting home folks know you're one of them.
He's pro-agriculture, pro-military, anti-abortion. I stand for all those things.
There are other priorities besides hustling votes.
Priorities like just getting home. The last stop of the day, Fairhope Stadium, the Pirates versus the Saints of St. Paul's, with number 20 playing defense and offense, Sam Sessions.
About the only thing I insist on that I want to be back for Friday night football games.
Sam gets a piece of several tackles, and the Saints chalk up a win, something number 20's dad is counting on too this November. Amy Greer, Fox 10, Action News.
And tomorrow night, Amy takes a look at Sessions' opponent, State Senator Roger Bedford.
If you consider yourself kind of handy around the house, grab your tools.
Coming up, we'll show you how you can help build a child's dream.
It's a dream come true for kids in Gulf Shores. A park they designed is being built as we speak. Construction began on the Johnny Sims Park at 7 o'clock this morning.
And since then, the pounding of hammers has been music to the ears. Fox 10's James Gordon joins us now live from Gulf Shores. He's going to tell us how the project is going on. James?
Bob, and this sawdust is flying everywhere, and these folks, all volunteers, will be here until 10 o'clock tonight. Most of them started around 7 a.m. this morning. I believe this gentleman down here, when he comes back this way, I'm going to talk to him. He's been here since 7 a.m. because I helped him earlier. Let's see, he's working with the router. They're working on these boards, which will eventually be part of the floor on different parts of the park, and obviously they got to be sanded down just perfect. Can you turn that off for me real quick? All right. You've been here since early. I've seen you all day.
All day.
All day.
Early, 9:30 at least.
9:30. And you'll be here till 10?
Probably.
Probably back tomorrow?
I imagine.
Did you bring some friends with you?
No, I came from Montgomery.
Oh, wow.
My daughter's in charge of this thing, and she told me about it several months ago, and I said, that sounds great. I'd like to participate.
Well, you're all doing a fine job. Appreciate it.
Good.
All right, get back to work.
Thanks.
Okay. And the young ladies over here from Foley High School, right?
Yes, sir.
And as soon as school was out, you ran over here, right?
Right after the Key Club meeting, came straight over here, so.
So this is some of your classmates?
Yes, sir.
Some of your friends?
All right, we're here with Honor Society today, so it'll be interesting.
Well,
We're here
good.
all week.
It's an honor to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Again, as you can see, hundreds of volunteers, and of course, a lot of them showing up, after 5 o'clock after work at quitting time. The place is pretty much packed. I'd say about 200 or 300 people here right now, and this will continue through Sunday, beginning at 7 a.m. all the way till 10 p.m. Every day through Sunday. And there's the number on your screen. You can call that number for more information, or if you want to volunteer. And organizers tell me they need some tools as well, and those can be dropped off and they will be given back to you, especially all the power tools. Some of the things they need are 25-foot measuring tapes, extension cords, speed squares, combination squares, hammers, that is, levels, and screwdrivers, and just about anything you can use for construction. This is a great opportunity to show your community spirit no matter where you're from, even if you're not from Gulf Shores.
And I understand you don't have to come back to the studio tonight. You can just pick up a hammer right now.
Well, if you have any work for me back in the studio, I've been practicing, and I'll be full of sawdust, so I'm perfect for the job.
All right, then. Thanks, James. I think we're going to nickname him Tim the Tool Man.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We may need an umbrella over there. We're going to talk about what's out there right now when we come back.
Now, Fox 10 Action News at 6 p.m. continues.
The high today in Mobile was 80 degrees. It was 81 in Pensacola, and we went up to, we're currently down to 75 in Mobile and 76 in Pensacola. Guess what's behind me? Look at this. Can you believe it? We've got some heavy thunderstorms right now moving across Mississippi, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and it's all pushing east. Some of this rain here in Mississippi is going to swing through the Mobile area. Matter of fact, it's out there right now, pushing very, very close. Heavy rain showers are already into Washington County, Alabama. Some scattered rain showers over toward Monroeville, and some heavy rain down here in Louisiana. All of this activity is going to be rolling up from the coast as that cold front pushes on through the area, so some showers between now and midnight tonight because of this cold front sweeping on through the area. Once it pushes on through now, the winds will shift from the south to the northwest, and we'll have some cooler, drier air pushing in for tomorrow. Some snow is forecast tonight in the plain states around Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, on into possibly into Missouri and Arkansas. We're going to have scattered showers in our area, and cooler temperatures are just over the hill. They're coming on in here tonight. They will be here for sure tomorrow night. The Wednesday forecast, high pressure building, clearing skies, and Winds coming in out of the northwest. Here's the forecast tonight. Cloudy with showers, a few thunderstorms between now and midnight. The overnight low 55 degrees, winds shifting to the northwest 10 to 20. It's going to be clearing and cooler tomorrow with a high around 70 degrees, but once we hit it, it's going to start dropping off. Northwest winds tomorrow at 10 miles an hour. Sunshine on Thursday, a low that morning of 45. A chance of scattered showers beginning on Friday into the weekend, and more likely the rain's going to happen on Saturday of those 3 days.
Rain may stick around. Thanks, John Ed.
Lance, what's going on in sports?
Well, do the Saints have a new head coach? No one seems to know. We're going to update you on that, and we're going to introduce you to an outstanding cross-country athlete when we get back. Stay with us. Boy, let me tell you, the Saints are a train wreck these days. Yesterday, Jim Moore resigned as head coach. The job was offered to Director of Pro Personnel Chet Franklin. He thought about it overnight, then turned it down, says he's going to hang on to his current position. The team plans on naming a head coach by no later than tomorrow afternoon. And there's this. Offensive coordinator Carl Smith has been fired. You know, 2-14 is beginning to sound like a real possibility. Last night in the NFL, Chargers and Raiders in an AFC West battle. Stan Humphries getting nailed by Chester McLaughlin. Separated left shoulder for Humphries. His replacement, though, Sean Salisbury, steps right in. Here he delivers on the money to Tony Martin for the touchdown. Salisbury had 2 TDs to Martin on the night. Looks like he does it all the time. Third period, though, 10-7 Raiders, and this is the clincher. Jeff Hostetler under pressure finds Derek Fenner. Fenner does a nice job getting loose and goes the distance. 23-14, Oakland over San Diego last night. A few weeks ago, UMS Wright freshman Alice Johnston rose to the top of the heap in cross-country competition here in Alabama, and she has no plans on relinquishing her title. Chris Coraggio has more on this very young but very talented high school athlete.
She was inspired by watching the Olympics as a 5th grader back in 1992. Now a 9th grader at UMS Wright, Alice Johnston has turned what was inspiration into extreme success. Alice is the top cross-country runner in the state.
Being a 9th grader, we don't like to put a lot of pressure on them, but being the #1 runner, you're going to have people come after you. And that's what we've been talking to her about, is being focused on that and getting a little bit more mentally tough as she goes through the season. And, you know, being the 9th grader takes a little bit more to figure out that, you know, some of these other people that are older than you are shooting at you and this kind of stuff. But she's done a great job so far.
Everybody has pressure being #1 and stuff, and I just think that there's basically kind of no way to get over it, but you just have to run through it, and each week if you just run your hardest, then you're just kind of helping yourself at it.
The next meet Alice will run in will be Saturday at Municipal Park, the McGill-Tulin Relays, but the big one is November 11th up at Troy, the state tournament, and look for Alice Johnston to be crossing the finish line with a lot of people behind her. In Mobile, I'm Chris Coraggio for Fox 10 Action News Sports.
And good luck to Alice up there. Okay, more tonight on the Saints debacle. Of course, the World Series is on the way.
I don't know if I want to hear anything more about that.
Oh, I think we're here a lot more. We'll be right back. Here's what's ahead tonight on Fox 10 Action News right after the ball game. A possible health threat in northern Mobile County has some folks concerned. Find out about raw sewage dumped near an area hospital. That's it for Fox 10 Action News at 6 p.m.
See you right after the game.